Hey, just want to express how impressed with you I am.
Okay. Why?
I thought that in a meeting with you, two profs and an associate professor, me, I thought you did a very good job of coming across as kind of like a person. I thought you were, you didn't break into song. You didn't mention anything about some kind of 1980s horror film that no one knows anything about. You didn't mention the wives or the husbands of some obscure actress. I was massively impressed. This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing. Thanks. Thanks.
So Lee and I had a real meeting this week, not in person, online, and did you find it a bit strange?
Yeah, I found it super strange. I was almost tempted to send you a message beforehand and say, "Remember, we don't know each other." I mean, not we don't know each other because everybody knows that we know each other, but I didn't want to communicate. We don't know each other. Yeah, so it was.
You're talking about biblical knowing? You're not a.
Well, we slept in the same bed.
That's true. Yeah. We've recorded podcasts in the same bed.
In the same bed, in fact.
Weird.
Yeah, it was a weird. I have to say, these kinds of moments, I feel bizarrely fraudulent, but also at the same time, I catch myself listening to people going, I actually maybe do know stuff.
Do you think they feel equally fraudulent, or are they more used to it? I'm not talking about these people in those.
No. I was not thinking about these
abstract.
people. Yeah. Do other people feel fraudulent? I think probably my experience of being in a room with people at this point and going, oh yeah, there are people here who are thinking, don't ask me any questions, which I'm grateful is not me. You can ask me questions and I'll answer them. Not well, but I'll answer them.
Yeah, I have to say, two things happen for me. One is that if I have that feeling, it doesn't last very long. Like I generally just kind of note it and then get over it pretty quickly. And the other thing I'm really comfortable doing is going, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. People who say I don't know tend to be people who actually know a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm not trying to like humble brag when I say I don't know. It's quite genuinely.
Yeah, but I think it's because the people who are confident in what they know feel okay to go, no, I don't know about that. Soz. Yeah. Anyway, it was a very, very curious hour of my life. But it was only an hour of my life. It was half an hour of your life because you had to dip out halfway through because of Poorly Mouth. Tell me more. What's happened, Poorly Mouth, man?
Well, just to finish that, just to cross that particular T. The other thing that was a little bit odd about it was I realised that I haven't really worked with you in that way ever, if at all, ever, if at all. Ever.
Yeah, no. We have never worked.
We do not know each other in that capacity, even though we've known each other a long time and have worked together. Yeah. We've worked in the same building and the same,
Yeah. So,
yes,
I didn't suck. Is that what you're telling me, or are you saying that I really need to sort myself out and go and take some professorial lessons?
Oh, look, if there's training. I mean, just totally go for it. I could go as long as well, and although they might not let me in the room. There'd be some kind of thing like Logan's Run when my bead will start flashing and I'll rise into the sky and they'll poof me out of the air because I'm not a prof.
I mean, of all the people today who are referencing, that wasn't an 80s horror film, that was a 70s sci-fi film, which I'm sure we have definitely
Jessica. No, Jessica was the name of the character, wasn't it?
Yes, you're thinking Jenny. Close, Jenny Agutter.
Oh. And my poor little preteen dreams were filled with Jenny Agutter. Yeah. And I don't remember the name of the...
Michael York.
Oh, well done. I could have got that, actually. I could have got
Peter Ustinov was in it. He was the oldest man alive.
Yes. I could go back and watch that. I wonder how watchable it is these days, Logan's Run.
Farrah Fawcett was in it. She was
one of the runner. Was she a runner?
No, she ran the.
What was it called?
Plastic surgery clinic thing.
And what was
where
the
you
thing?
Could go and get a new face.
Yeah, and what was the thing called when they celebrated turning 32?
It's like Carousel or something.
Carousel. Well done, Carousel.
Ooh.
So yes, I had 2:30.
Oh, you had dentist o'clock. Yeah, so Simon's had toothache. Tell me about it because it's horrible, and I want you to relive your pain for me.
So I did get a bit, my tooth started hurting when I was making a lot of bread, and I was thinking, something's not quite right here. And by the time I'd gotten to London, I was in quite a lot of pain. I knew it wasn't very precise, the pain. It was more like dull, but I could not chew. I couldn't bite, which is, that's quite a disability. I'm going to call it that. I don't want to trivialize real disabilities, but it does feel like, wow, that's quite a big part of my life that is cut off. And what's curious about this place, because I just go to the NHS here, and as we've discussed, it's perfunctory. I'm going to say very perfunctory. And so the difference between when you don't pay or when you pay just a little bit for NHS and when you do pay is extraordinary.
Really?
Yeah. And my sister lives in Richmond, which is not the poorest area in London.
No, it's not.
No.
It's quite fancy.
And so the thing that I just want to say, I had to fill in quite a lot of forms the night before online, and I just want to ask you, are you happy with your smile, Lee?
Oh, my God. Really? Did you have that?
An entire form, one of 4 was devoted to my smile and my aforementioned happiness with it. And by the end of it, I started to doubt whether I was happy with it or not. Because it was like, like a UI, a bit of UI on a computer where it says, are you sure you want to close? And you click yes. And it says, are you really sure? Yes, I want to. And
if you click it, you will lose all of your teeth.
Yeah,
are you sure?
I understand. Exactly. And so and it just was very clear that I was going to a place where people go and get their smiles sorted out in various ways. I mean, obviously. But it was, and then I emailed them and I said, P.S., just to let you know, I am really happy with my smile. Nor do I give it very much thought, actually. Not until, in fact, I don't think I've given my smile as much thought as I did that entire form-filling exercise. So I rocked up. And had to pay half in advance. And was met by, it was very comfortable. In fact, I was sitting in the waiting room, still in the meeting with you.
I did have a flash and thinking that looks remarkably waiting room like. Interesting.
Indeed. And I was met, a dentist came out and sat with her, and she asked me a lot of questions. And I just want to say, she was really attractive. And I don't like to say this, Lee, but she showed a lot of interest in me, and she laughed at my jokes. And I don't think that's just because I was paying an enormous amount of money and she was professional. I think that she liked me too. And no, but she was just, she really was interested in my life, and the thing that was really hard for me while my mouth was kind of stuck open to try and explain to her or ask her if she felt the same kind of connection that I was feeling. Yeah, I don't know. Right?
So I know that you are taking the piss quite seriously.
I am.
But this is a thing I think that quite a lot of women have to navigate in a professional world.
Can you imagine?
Where they
imagine?
Do their job appropriately and well, and then fucking idiot men go, so, I noticed you were paying attention to me. You even put your fingers in my mouth. I'm a dentist.
You made me move my tongue around.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so horrifying. It's not funny.
Yeah, no. She was incredibly good, incredibly well trained, but yes, I really did have that quite a funny moment. Going, well, I bet this happens a lot. Quintessentially Florence Nightingale, and also, but can you imagine therapists? I mean, therapists. It's so common. It's a cliche.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And just how little, if you think about how much we love our pets, and that's mostly because we think that they're listening to us and they pay us lots of attention. It's a very low bar for us to think that someone is interested in us.
Yeah, it is a very low bar. Speaking of pets, I read something in a broadsheet the other day, and as we know, when I say broadsheet, I mean on Instagram, that said...
I mean, if you've got a really big iPad, it's almost a broadsheet, isn't it?
Bob and I have taken to saying, I read something in a broadsheet, or I saw something on the television, and we both know that we mean this was on Instagram.
Or TikTok.
I know you don't graduated to TikTok, although maybe we should. Maybe we should.
I really don't think you should. I think you... no.
Just more stuff to watch, and there's already enough nonsense in my head. Is that what you mean?
No, I don't mean that. I just mean... it just fills me with dread, not for you, or just in general, that kind of that passivity and the kind of contraction of our curiosity into flick. Oh, just it really does. I mean, you know how I feel about it, but wow, I do.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to disappoint you because I was reading
in
a broadsheet. Yeah. That owning a dog, or living with a dog, I should say, because I never really feel comfortable saying owning. When people say,
Jeffrey doesn't either.
No, exactly. It's like, well, I live with him. I'm not sure I own him. I'm responsible for him, and I pay his bills, but that's not the same. But the 90% of living with a dog is following each other around, watching each other poop, and wondering what the other one has in its mouth. It's like, yeah. That's pretty much accurate. I might even say that's 100% of the time. I watch him poo. He watches me poo. He has things in his mouth. I'm worried about that. I have things in my mouth, and he wants them. It's like, that's pretty much our relationship, and I feel valued. I feel held.
Yeah. Again, talk about low bars. I mean, that it is extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah. We really are. Just in case, I know it's a theme. It's a theme of midlifing, but God damn it, we're just animals, aren't we?
Oh, I mean,
we're just simple little stimulus response animals. Yeah. Push that button. She pushed that button by just looking at me and listening. I mean, come on.
So
I was paying her,
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a similar response when you are witnessed by men, or are you further down the Kinsey scale than I'm imagining you? Or wanting you? Come, join me in the middle. It's amazing here. Everybody's paying attention to you. Everybody wants
you. Basically double the quantity of people paying attention to you, don't you?
Everybody
more or
in
less.
This whole room fucking fancies me. Another thing I saw on the television. Okay. Do you?
Yeah,
is it gendered? Is it gendered? Your
response
it's
to... pretty strongly gendered for me. I can be aware of it in men, and occasionally, if I feel a certain amount of attraction to them, I'll happily flirt. But it's it doesn't. I'll just say I'll just say this. It doesn't. I'll just say foster my imagination the same way.
Wow.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. No,
It does.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's just a
Gotcha.
fact. It's just a fact. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't like.
that's-
I don't like to. I don't like. I'm very comfortable with straightness. I'm also comfortable.
Yeah.
I would be comfortable if I wasn't, but it's quite clear to me that I'm turned on by women more than I'm turned on by men. Put it that way.
I was wondering because my my dentists have been, with one exception, my dentists have been men.
Oh.
Until very recently, I had an emergency appointment with Natalie, who didn't create stirrings for me. But that's not Natalie. That's entirely me. And I think it might be because that doesn't happen to me very often in the world.
That someone doesn't create stirrings?
No, that does. I'm dead from the neck down in many respects. I don't.
It's quite uncommon for you to.
It's very, very uncommon for me to see
a
real live human being and go, oh. I often see people on television and go, oh, that's a beautiful person, but that's it really. I'm a bit. Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
I don't know if it's weird or not. I'm wondering if that's the norm and that I'm the weird one.
No, I don't think it is the norm because I've got friends and colleagues who will go, oh, such and such a person, oh, beautiful or pretty or handsome or whatever, and I go, oh yeah, objectively, I get that, yeah. But I don't find myself very often going, it's just not a place that I live. I'm wondering if I need to go and have more testosterone pumped into my failingly fragile body.
Maybe we could get Corbetron to send us some over, do a few little tests, a few little trial runs, see how you go.
So he's good. Okay, right? Because in my mind, for some reason, he's just spitting in an envelope, and I've got to rub it on myself. Is that how it works? Because he's a very manly man.
He sweats testosterone. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, so do I just lick him? That's going to be awkward.
Just basically round his calves after a shower, like he's Jeffrey. I mean, like you're Jeffrey. He's you. You know what I mean.
Why do you washed all the testosterone off in the shower and I'm just licking shower water?
Oh, I think it's not water soluble.
Oh, good. Right, okay. Well, I'm not a scientist, so I'll take your word for that.
If anyone is still
listening
and has been thinking about testosterone, don't take it from us. Don't take anything from us about what it is and what it isn't.
You don't need patches. You just need to lick a hairy man when he gets out of the shower, just around his calves.
Yeah. So and where were we?
We were reflecting upon your
her
your
desire
interest
for
being
me
peaked. Your interest being piqued, and we gently touched.
I mean, I've got a number. I've got a number already.
Oh, Simon, stop it!
Okay, I'm sorry. Is there a line? Have I crossed the line already? Have I?
I mean, I kind of think you crossed it right back when you said she was really interested in me because she asked questions. Because, it makes... men are really, really clueless.
Huh?
Men are clueless,
Oh,
aren't they?
yeah.
I don't know how... I don't really know how the human race has managed to survive as long as it has.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. I have to say, I don't know whether we have talked about this before. I mean, we've basically got this massive back catalogue now in which I have no idea what we've talked about and what we haven't. But I do, most of my teenage 20s, 30s, I pretty much assumed that women in particular, weren't interested in me. I think I have told you that.
Yeah. I think you have told me that.
Yeah. That it was. They had to cross up. Basically, they had to be extremely explicit before I went. Yeah, I agree though. Just to go back to, I mean, I'm not sure I can speak for all men, but I think humans, we all tend to be a little bit like this. But I think men have a particular, generalization alert. I think we are pretty bad at assuming things when people show interest in us.
I think it's also to do with the stories that we get told. That if it's the stand outside a window, hold a boombox in the rain, neg somebody in detention, and then give them, exactly, and then get given an earring. All of those.
Wait, is that 10 Things I Hate About You?
No, that last one was Breakfast Club. That was
pretty
Molly Ringwald.
And 16 Candles.
No, Breakfast Club, not 16 Candles. 16 Candles.
Oh, yeah.
16 Candles is worse.
That's the stalker one.
It's trade your girlfriend's. Oh, it's horrible. It's like give your drunk, drugged girlfriend to a freshman at high school. Oh. Let her take her. It has not aged well.
I might watch it again this week, just out of curiosity. Oh. Yeah.
I mean, the racism's a bit to climb over as well. So
racism
really? And Gidi Watanabe is who plays is the name of the performer. I think he went on to be in multiple series of ER, and he played a character called. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Long Duck Dong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is a what's his name movie, isn't it?
John Hughes.
It's a John Hughes film.
He's dead.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've celebrated him previously, or castigated him.
I mean,
mixture.
It was a different time.
It sure was.
And Molly Ringwald speaks fondly of him.
And also, I mean, yeah, she does. Also, she speaks quite incredibly about that entire time.
Is. Have you ever read any of her writing?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, I really like her. She should write more.
Yeah.
I mean, far be it from me to tell people what to do with their lives. She probably doesn't want to.
Dear Molly, write more. Lovely.
I really liked your book. Could you do some more book?
So yeah, I get what you're saying, and but there's also something, of course, and just not to, and I don't want to sort of paper over this, which is I think it's a really normal thing to do, to feel like someone might be attracted to you or being attracted to someone else. So it's not, and I know that, and I'm making light of a situation in which an attractive person is in a professional situation. I totally get that, and I'm being very playful about it, and was also even in my mind laughing, which is always very funny when someone's kind of, doing what they're doing in a dentist chair. But yeah, so I just don't want to. I mean, maybe there's a conversation there about the expression of attraction and the, and the kind of complications of that. I mean, I don't mean it. I don't express attraction now because I'm married and have been for a long time. But I mean, it would be a little bit weird, maybe. Although, do you ever go? Oh, I really, do you ever think do you ever comment on people's clothing or dress or hair? It doesn't matter what gender they are. Do you, like in any kind of situation where you go, I just want to say I really like your trousers, or I really like your shoes.
To them, all the time.
Oh, you do?
I do all the time.
At work?
Yeah.
Haircuts?
I think it's haircuts. Bob has trained me well to notice haircuts and to tell people that they've had a haircut and to tell them it looks nice.
Right.
She thinks it's important to pay attention to the people that you work with.
I think I did that once with a colleague at work, a much senior colleague, and I said, really like your haircut. And I think it took her aback, and she got quite self-conscious about it. And I did have that. I had a moment at the time going, I wonder if I should ever comment on someone's appearance ever in a work situation.
That's interesting. Maybe the answer. Maybe I'm unprofessional, but I regularly tell people that. Oh, I like that. I mean, there are limits. I probably wouldn't say to the. Oh, actually, no, I have. I told the VC I like to trainers once.
Yeah. It's certainly
really nice
not.
Pair of
and what about
Adidas
if someone's lost weight?
No.
Just to check. I just wanted to check there was a line there for you.
Oh, God, no. I mean, apart from anything else, more often than not, if people have lost weight, it's not... It's not something I notice unless they've gone away for a long time and then they've come back, and I always assume they've been ill.
Yeah, I know.
I never assume
Have you got cancer? Like, can you just
Well,
imagine? Oh.
It's just I don't tend to equate having lost weight with a deliberate choice.
Yes.
Possibly because I like eating bread, and I can't imagine why anybody would
Choose
sacrifice delicious food for a flat tummy. I've been walking around with no top on today going, my tummy's doing jiggles, la 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 la. Oh, should I do something about my jiggly tummy? And I went downstairs and had a piece of focaccia. That's what I did about my jiggly tummy.
That's focaccia, if any Italians are listening, just in case you weren't sure.
Focaccia.
Fuck you too. Just to finish off this episode, because we'll never finish it otherwise. So yeah, she did all the things they do, and they tell me things that I've been told by dentists for years. Teeth grinding as a teenager, and you get food stuck in your teeth. And I said, you're clearly not you're not a middle-aged, and because of that combination of age and recession, you get food stuck in your teeth. And she said, we'll come back to that tooth, which of course is why I went there.
And do we have a diagnosis? What's happened?
We do. She said, for whatever reason. These were her words, which I just thought was charming and bizarre. For whatever reason, it has decided to die.